Hello, sir, can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I would like to welcome our next speaker for today's session. Our talk is on leadership qualities by Dr. Sachin Airekar. Dr. Sachin Airekar just a minute. Please bear with us, there is one internet issue. So, welcome back. So, Dr. Sachin Airekar is a program director at Bharati Vidyapith Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship Development, Pune. He has a rich experience, academic experience of 12 years. Dr. Airekar has published more than 16 research papers in reputed national and international journals and has also received prestigious funding for more than 2 projects. Dr. Airekar has conducted training programs for corporate as well as employees in cooperative and NGO sectors on managerial skill development and has provided consultancy for various institutions. So with this very short and brief introduction, I would now like to request Dr. Sachin Airekar sir to begin his talk on leadership qualities.
Thank you, madam. Madam, I have shared my PPT. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Your PPT is visible, but it is not on the slide mode. So if you can go to the presentation mode.
Okay, just. Madam, now it is okay?
Sir, I am still seeing it in the, it's not in the full screen mode, sir.
I'm putting it on slideshow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, done.
So we are still not able to see it.
Now?
Yes, sir. That's perfect.
Okay. Madam, with your permission, I'm starting my session.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Namaste to all the participants for this FDP. Today the topic given to me is leadership qualities and excellence. Basically, I will focus on leadership qualities. In the first half, we will discuss about the leadership qualities and then how it will help the organization or how it will help the departments to go on the path of excellence to achieve the various goals set by the top authorities. So my session, the first 75% part will be about leadership qualities, and the remaining 25% part will talk about excellence. When we are talking about leaders, we, in our discussion with other colleagues or on various platforms, we feel that we are discussing about a particular individual, but actually the fact of the matter is we all discuss their qualities, and these qualities we discuss on the basis of the performance they have delivered. A particular leader is good or is the best leader on basis of what we are coming to this particular conclusion. We are coming to this conclusion on the basis of the qualities demonstrated by that leader and the performance given by them. Some leaders, they will not deliver, they will not be in position to deliver. In private organization, they will be get removed. And when we discuss about those type of leaders, on the basis of performance, we are turning them or we are defining them as they are bad leaders. Basically, this all game of leadership is not related to that any particular individual, but it is related to the qualities the individual is having, the leader is having, and how he utilizes those qualities to deliver the best for that particular organization and that particular department. Leadership is a concept. Basically, when we discuss about this concept, we feel that it is related to companies, private organizations.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, your voice is breaking little bit.
Just, I will check that. Now it is okay, madam?
Background noise are there.
Just. Is it okay now, madam?
Little same is hearing. A small noise is there.
I think I have on.
Okay, sir, continue.
Hello, ma'am.
Sir, you continue.
Is it okay now?
Okay, sir.
Okay, I will share my PPT once again.
Yes, sir, PPT is there on the screen.
Okay. Okay. So we are discussing about great leaders and the leaders who fail to perform. And that difference is because of the qualities. And that's why when the topic was given to me, I immediately accepted the invitation. Because this particular FDP is not focusing on an individual leader, but this FDP is focusing on leadership qualities. When we are discussing about leadership, the term leadership, a very famous US American consultant in single line.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Some people are saying the PPT is not able to see. So please share once again your PPT.
Okay. Okay. I think now it is okay, madam. Again, I have shared.
Sir.
Okay, madam. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, the famous US consultant, Warren Bennis, in single line he said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So for a leader, vision is important. Vision should be there. He should have a vision. And again, he should have that quality to transfer that vision into reality. So when we are talking about, when we are thinking about leaders, qualities of leaders, they should have that quality of drafting the vision. They should have the quality of preparing the plan so that whatever vision they have drafted, they will be in position to convert that vision into reality. Now there are some thinkers, they have also gave their views about the concept of leadership. Leadership is the act of guiding. Now what purpose the leader should guide? The leader should guide the team members. The leader should guide the individuals because there is a goal set for them. There is a target set for them. Now this target again is set on the basis of the vision the leader is having. And this guidance the leader which is providing to the team members, to the individuals, because of this guidance, the leader is lifting up the individuals and teams beyond its normal limitations. Maybe in past, a particular team is giving us X output, but an effective leader, because of his guidance, because of the direction he is going to give to that particular team, energizes the team members to give the result beyond their normal limitations. And that's why we all always say that great leaders, they do wonders. How they do the wonders? By guiding the team members, by giving them the proper direction towards the goal which is set, and energizing them so that these people, the team members, previously they were giving some X output, this time they will deliver X plus output. Lifting up of the team members is again an important characteristic of an effective leader. There are some leadership qualities. If you are going to see the different books, available material on various sources, we can easily list out more than 50 qualities, more than 50 qualities of a great leader. Today I have listed here the important 8 qualities of a great leader, or 8 leadership qualities: vision, decision making, strategic planning, selection of team members, integrity, humility, communication, positive attitude. The first is the vision. A leader should have the power to see into future. All great leaders, they are having this power to see into future. What is going to be there in future? And based upon that clarity, they designs the plan. Now question comes, the power of seeing into future, how they acquire this particular skill set, what method generally they use, or is there any standard specific program for that? The answer to this question is, if a leader effectively collects the data about the past performance, about the present condition, and do some brainstorming on that, about his own organization, about his own department, he will get some traits for future. But this is not sufficient. This is what the internal analysis the leader is doing to prepare the vision statement. In the market, there are competitors also. There are some administrative bodies also. There are government rules and regulations also. Leader has to predict about that also. My competitors, they were at this position. In future, what will be their vision? What will be their next plan? How the rules will be get changed in terms of government? What changes they may do? These points, which are external factors again, which are not inside factors, he should collect the information about that. He should think about all this information, do some analysis, and based on this analysis, he has or she has to draft the vision statement. When the vision statement is going to be get drafted. It should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be achievable. And the vision statement will be for longer duration. It is not for 1 year, the way the managers are. Target for 1 year, target for 6 months, target for quarter, first quarter, second quarter. Leaders' vision is for 5 years, for 10 years. And if this quality of drafting vision for the department, for the organization, for any institution, if a manager acquires this, the manager will transform himself into transactional manager to transformational leader. Because this is the first important quality of leadership, effective leader. If he is not in a position to prepare or to develop the vision, then whatever the resources he or she is having, on which path he is going to take, he don't know, he will not be in position to define that, and whatever the resources will be there or given to him will be a wastage for that particular organization. All the great leaders, they were having vision. If you are going to see example, for example, our father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, we're having a vision. If you are going to see another important entrepreneur, Mr. Narayan Murthy, he was having a vision about this. So vision is important, and great leaders are having that. Budding leaders should develop this quality to prepare the vision statement, because that is going to decide the path, that is going to decide the target, and if target and path is not there, then there will not be any use of the leadership quality of that particular individual. After vision, the second important is that in case of leadership, quality of leadership, is courage to take decisions. Individuals, majority of the individuals working in their professional life, they want to take the decision, but they don't take it. Reason, it may work, it may not work. Another reason, maybe few people, individuals, team members will like it, few may not like it. And that's why, instead of taking decision, they postpone the matters. Why they postpone it? Because they don't have the courage to take the decision. Why individuals don't have the courage to take the decision? Because they don't have the confidence to take the decision. Why individuals leaders don't have the confidence to take the decision? Because they don't know which is the correct decision, which is the correct option. Why they are not in position to choose the correct option for implementation purpose to resolve that particular problem? Because they lack in analytical, logical ability. We have to put logic. Collection of data is okay, but we are going to apply the analytics to that. We should apply, the leader should apply. Then what will happen when the leader is going to use the data logically? He will be in a position to find out the multiple solutions for a particular problem, for a single problem. Then comparing this solution with one another, you will find the best solution And the solution which he is going to finalize after this extensive exercise, he will be confident about it. He knows if I am going to implement this solution, what are the requirements, because he has worked for it. He knows if this solution, when I am going to implement and unfortunately it is not going to give the result to me, what will be my backup plan? If these things a leader is going to do, you will have a courage to take decisions. If not, it will be a big problem for the entire team and entire organization. Because today's problem, if you are not going to solve it today, tomorrow it will become more bigger. Sometimes leaders should have that ability to take some unpleasant decisions also. When the flexi-time concept was introduced in our country, majority of the employee community was not in favor of that. But the leaders in the organization, they insist for it. And today, at least in corporate sector, we are witnessing that there is a flexi-time concept. Each week they have to spend around about 35 to 40 hours in company premises. Flexi-time concept. Initially it was not that much encouraged, welcome, supported, but leaders went with that decision, and today it has become a universal type of. So sometimes unpleasant decisions, maybe the top brass is going to oppose that, maybe the team members are going to oppose that. As a leader, you should have ability to counter the resistance to change. And some leaders, they don't have that ability to counter to resistance to change. And again, they, instead of going for taking decision, they will run away from that particular situation. So this should not happen. The important quality is that develop analytical skill, logical patterns, take proper decisions, and with confidence implement it. And that's why there is a quote by Mr. Churchill, the ex-Prime Minister of Britain. Courage is rightly considered the foremost of virtues, for upon it all others depend. Decision taking. Take the decision with proper analysis and proper resource availability. With proper resource availability. Third important quality is the strategic plan. Leader should be a good planner. The vision is ready. The path, as we have to design the path for that particular vision. Ability to look ahead and anticipate where the future is heading. What will be the trend? Anticipating well in advance. I have to complete this task at the end of this month. What resources I will require? Whether those resources will be available to me in time. What will be my backup plan for that if it is not going to be available? I will require help from whom? Those individuals are free or not at this particular time period, for this particular time period. All these points, requirements, availability, one should consider while doing the strategic plan. Strategies will be get finalized on the basis of your vision statement. Strategies will be get finalized on the basis of targets mentioned in the vision statement. Strategies will again get finalized on the basis of the resource requirements and its availability. If this vision statement is ready, we want to achieve a particular target, a particular goal. But requirements, resource requirement and its availability, when we are going to analyze this particular parameter, it shows negative results. Then what to do? In that case, we have to revisit our visions. We have to give extra time in this particular process, for this particular process. And you can do it very delicately, in proper time, and you introduce all these things with the help of this strategic planning, you implement all those things, then automatically you will get the first mover advantage. Because you will be the first one. And automatically, because you will be the first one and the organization will be the first one, it will attract the remaining audience. Maybe the customers, maybe the students, maybe employees from other organizations. That is what the game of first mover is. So we have to plan it thoughtfully by considering the availability of the requirement and resources, requirements and availability of resources. And then we should implement it. Then the leader should implement it. There are cases, there are examples. Vision statements, very in detail, people have prepared it. But they have failed to achieve it. The matter, after investigation, you will find that the planning was not proper. The things which one should consider while doing the strategy and the strategic planning, they have not done. So these type of things is going to damage the reputation of the leader as well as the reputation of the organization. And that's why strategic planning is an important quality, a leadership quality. In my opinion, this is the most important quality of a leader, effective leader. Selection of team members. How the leader should do the selection of team members. This is a very key issue. How the leader should do, how the leader should select team. For that purpose, number one, leader should know what is the task. So leader must study the tasks involved into process. What exactly is the task? What type of knowledge is required for performing this particular task? What type of skills are required to perform a particular task? The leader should study. In our HR, we say job description and job specifications very carefully. And if he finds any loophole in the present job description and job specification, then he is going to compare it with the task. Then he has to make some changes for updation purpose. Once the leader knows about the task, then he should be in position to assess the knowledge of his team members in the framework of that particular task. Who are my team members? They are having the knowledge related to this task. So when I am going to hand over that task to them, they will be in position to perform. Who are those individuals, team members in my team having this skill set and competencies to perform a particular task? So leaders should have that ability to analyze the team members in terms of their knowledge, in terms of their skill set, in terms of their competencies, and in terms of their work ethics also. What are the work ethics of my team members? Are they committed? Are they goal-oriented? So these abilities, leaders should assess. He should have that ability to assess the team members. And if not, then the last slide we have discussed, resource availability. So we don't have the availability of the resource in terms of manpower. So the resource, from where I am going to get the resource then? He should have answers to these questions, or he should try to find out the answers for this question. Who are those individuals? Now I have a time. Don't have the resource, but I have a time. So who are those resources, human resources, I can select for training purpose, so that after training, the learning will take place. And these individuals who are currently not in position to perform this particular task, after training, they will be in position to perform that task. So leader should have the ability to find out the training needs of the team members. He should have that ability to find out. And that's why leaders should spend more time with the team members, because he will observe them, he will find out what difficulties my team members are having in terms of performing a task, why these difficulties they are facing, because knowledge deficiency, because skill problem or competency problem, what is the problem? And according to that, he will take action. He will take action with the training and development department, or he may take action with the departments like the human resource development and assessments. But the important point here is he should have that ability, he should have that quality. Majority of the leaders, they are good in case of knowing the task. They do the study properly. But the problem is, in case of assessment of knowledge, skills and competencies, work ethics, they fail. And when at the mid of that particular process, they realize that the team which I have selected, it is not possible for them to complete this particular task in this particular given time frame. Then what they do? They put another few people into that particular group, which further leads to chaos. So that's why when leader thinks about the task, he should also have that ability to assess the knowledge, skills, as well as he should have that ability to identify the training needs of his or her team member. Next important quality is the integrity. This is related to truthfulness of a leader. Truthfulness towards organization. His commitment to organization. His commitment to his job as a leader. commitment towards organization, that I will give the correct data to organization. I will tell what is the facts to the toppers. Integrity towards organization. Integrity towards the job. Yes, I am a leader. I will not do any partiality. I will evaluate my team members on the basis of their real performance. Whatever the things, rewards will be there, that will be distributed amongst the team members on the basis of their performance, not on the basis of their religion, not on the basis of any other parameter, but the performance will be the only parameter. Integrity towards team. Team means team members. No false promises. The promises which I am in position to fulfill, only those promises great leaders will make to their team members. If you are going to complete this task, a leader is saying to his team member, if you are going to complete this task, you will get this reward. Team member completes that task, he is waiting for reward. 1 month gone, 1 quarter gone, 1 semester gone, no reward at all. Next time when the leader will come and tell him that if you are going to complete this second task, you will get the reward, team members are not going to believe. They are not going to. Automatically, it will damage the image of the leader. The leader should maintain transparency in every transaction. In every transaction, whether it is a professional, family, social life, he should maintain the transparency. Because in a team there are, suppose 10 members are there. Those 10 members with their 20 eyes, they are scanning the leader for that 8 hours, 10 hours, working hours. In society, he is recognized as a leader. So members of society is also scanning the leader. And that's why this is an important leadership quality, integrity. So maintaining the transparency in each and every transaction is the key. Maintaining the truthfulness in each and every transaction is the key. Sharing the truth with others is the key to maintain the integrity. Next is humility. This is a unique quality in terms of effective leaders. When I was preparing for this particular session, I saw a video of our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. And in that video, he was explaining about the Rohini project, which was in 1979. He was shouldered with the responsibility of that Rohini satellite project. In 1979, he was the project head. At the time of launching, the technical, means computer department team, they told him that there is some problem, but maybe some minor problem. Mr. Abdul Kalam and his team decided to go with that launch. Unfortunately, that launch was not a successful one. Press was waiting. So Abdul Kalam sir and the chairman, Dr. Satish Dhawan sir, they went for a press conference. Press was bombarding them with questions. Dr. Satish Dhawan sir was replying all questions. As it was a failure, so very pinpointed questions were coming towards them. And Satish Dhawan sir, he took the responsibility for that failure as a leader of the organization. And he handled all those questions. And during that press conference, he also gave the assurance that in next year, means in 1980, we will again relaunch it and it will be a successful one. Don't worry. In 1980, in the month of July, they again launched it. And that time it was a successful one. That launch was successful. Press was again waiting. This time, Satish Dhawan sir told Abdul Kalam sir that I will not conduct this kind of press conference, you conduct. The credit was given to the project director and his team. Satish Dhawan sir, even though he was a chairman, he has not conducted press conference at that time. Accept the responsibility of the failure. Leaders should accept the responsibility of failure. If he is not going to accept the responsibility of the failure, if he is not going to stand behind the difficult days, behind the team members, automatically the team members will lose faith in the leader. Leaders should accept the mistakes. Leaders should accept the mistakes. There are incidences where the top brass, top executives, they are making some comments, some policy remarks, and at the end of the meeting, when they will realize those things, they are coming to their juniors and saying sorry, accept the mistake. This is going to improve the image of the leader. If the leader is not going to stand by during the difficult time, then team members will prefer to work with that leader who will stand by them at the time of their difficult times. So sometimes leaders are not going to get the required human resources because they are not ready to take the responsibility of the team. Why people want to work in X organization? Why people want to work in Y organization? Why people want to work with A leader? Why people want to work with B leader? Because of this. It is not possible that every time you are going to get a success. There will be failures, and that time the team members desperately needs the support of the leader. This is a very classic example which is shared by our former President Abdul Kalam. So humility is again another important leadership quality. Communication. This is the communication between leaders' communication is with the team member. The leaders' communication is with the other departments. The leaders' communication with the top brass. The leaders' communication with the outside stakeholders. Yes. The leader should have that ability to speak effectively. He should have ability to give clear instruction to the team members. And for that purpose, the leader should know what is the purpose, why I am giving this message, why I am giving this instruction, why I am sharing this data. He should know the purpose. If he knows the purpose, it will help him to draft the message correctly. That specifically I want to talk about, for example, late coming of my team members for meeting. So this is the purpose for which I want to give them the message. So the message will be late coming, how it is going to damage the team, how it is going to damage the performance. Late coming, how it is going to damage the organizational culture, team culture, work culture. Late coming, how it is against the rule. These points will be get covered into that. So the purpose should be very clear. Why I am communicating as a leader? To whom with I am communicating? What is the reason? What has happened? What is the incident? Every minor detail should be with the leader before he finalizes his communication and transfer his communication to the other part. Uniformity and reliability of the message. That is again important. Today the leader is giving one instruction. Day before yesterday he has given another instruction. It is going to create problem for the team members. Which instruction they should follow? Today's instruction or day before yesterday's instruction. So this is what is about uniformity in message. So when you are giving the message as a leader, the leader should be very clear what message or what purpose, so that there will not be any confusion amongst the team members. Use proper medium for conveying this. A big message is there. Instead of putting 5 pages, 6 pages mail, drafting mail and sending it, it is better that in that case we conduct a meeting. A meeting of 15 minutes or 10 minutes will cover all points which we want to draft and we want to send. So proper medium we should select to send the message. Effective use of informal communication is another aspect of communication. Leader must use it effectively. Why he should use it effectively? Because in this way, rapport building will take place between the leader and the team members, or team member A and team member B. That group team cohesiveness will be built with the help of this informal communication. Strength is team cohesiveness, unity in a team. Informal communication tool, leader must use effectively. Some leaders, they always maintain the distance between them and the team members. So in that case, it becomes an autocratic type of a system. So the message will go from one side only, from the side of the leader, and nothing will come from other side, because there is a barrier. The distance is maintained by the leader. And because of that, even though the leader is giving some wrong solutions to the problem, the team members will not come out and will not share their valuable solution with them. So if you want a free flow of communication, informal communication tool can be used, leader should use effectively. After communication, the last point quality which I want to discuss is the positive attitude. When we are talking about attitude, what it represents an individual's feeling or acting towards an individual thing or a situation. Attitude towards the team members of a leader, it should be very positive. What is meant by positive attitude? Whatever the team members want to share, leaders should listen them properly. If some genuine suggestions are coming from the team members, he should accept it. He should implement it. He should give credit to them. He should inspire the team members. When things are not favorable, if leader is going to lock down himself in his office, the team members will also remain at their place only. But instead of that, if the leader is with the team members, he is saying that it is possible. We have that ability to pull it off. This inspiration is going to, this inspirational talk is going to energize the team members, motivate the team members. And for that purpose, leaders should have that ability to see opportunity in difficult times. That is what is the positive attitude. What he feels about a particular situation, what he feels about a particular individual, that matters. If he thinks for unfavorable condition, oh, it is not possible, nothing is going to happen, so automatically this attitude is going to, this negative attitude is going to percolate down towards the team members. An individual demonstrates their attitude towards behavior. So the team members are going to observe the leader. Every time the leader is saying that each and every individual should come at a proper, at proper time to form a team. All team members are coming, but the leader is every time he is coming late. What is his attitude towards our situation, meeting situation? I am the boss. They are my subordinates. They should wait for me. But their time is also important. So positive attitude in negative conditions also is going to energize, is going to provide the energy to the team members. You have to complete this task in these many days. The first reaction will come from your team members, it is not possible. How come it will be possible? How we are going to complete it in these days? But if the leader is saying that yes, we can do it, we have that ability to complete it, and this is a plan for it. This positive attitude with the plan definitely pass on that positive attitude amongst the team members, and they will start working on it. If the leader is saying it is not possible, then automatically the entire team will say it is not possible. Now we have discussed about important qualities. Initially, I have also mentioned that if you are going to see the available resources, if you have gone through for leadership qualities, it will be more than 50. We have selected 8. If a leader is having a proper vision, courage for decision making, do meticulously strategic planning, having a proper team with him, integrity, humility, proper communication is there with a positive attitude, the journey will start towards excellence. And the team, the department, and the organization will achieve that excellence. The top level, they will achieve that. But for that purpose, they will require effective leaders with these qualities. If they don't have these leaders with these qualities, then there will be a lot of problems on the path of excellence. And in between that journey, the organization, the department, the team will be get collapsed. There are organizations, they were 5 years back, they were at the top. Today, if you are going to take, if you are going to see where they are, no trace at all. The reason is that these organizations, they were not having effective leaders. And effective leaders are having all these qualities. And they only can take on the path of excellence. And that's why every individual in one or another situation will be a leader. Every individual in one or another situation are going to get some goals, some targets to complete with the help of the team. So maybe in one situation will be a team member, in another situation we will be a leader. Maybe after 3 years, maybe after 5 years, maybe after 10 years, we'll get opportunity as a lead for a leadership positions also. And I wish you all will get, you all should get the opportunity of leadership position. But for that purpose, these qualities should be in that individual who are aspiring for the leadership position. Some qualities may be there, some qualities may not be there. We have to analyze ourselves. Are we in position to draft the vision? Am I having the ability to, am I having the courage to take decision? Am I having the ability to do the strategic plan? Can I select the correct team for myself? In my integrity, humility, communication, my attitude towards different individual situations, things. The development of leadership, development of leaders, the journey begins with this particular analysis. Once we are going to ask these questions to ourselves, we'll get some results. That result is going to be divided into two parts. Yes, I am having this, I don't have this. I don't have this. Okay, then what next? Is it possible to develop these qualities in me? The answer to this question is yes. A very famous consultant on leadership, Brian Tracy, he said, yes, we with the experience, we with the training, we with mentors can develop these particular qualities. And for that purpose, we have to work hard, and definitely those qualities which we don't have, with the help of our mentors, with the help of trainings, with the help of experiences, we will acquire those skill set qualities, and we will get ready to become a transformational leader for our department, for our organization. I have covered the leadership, the introductory part, then the qualities of leadership and journey towards excellence. At the end also I have explained about how we have to analyze ourselves and what are the methods to develop the leadership qualities. I am resting my words here. I am very thankful to the Bharati Vidyapeeth Pune College of Pharmacy for giving me this opportunity to talk on a topic which is very close to my heart, that is leadership. I hope the content which I have shared with you will benefit you all. So thank you. I'm thankful to all the coordinators as well as the principal of Pune College of Pharmacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Airekar, for this thought-provoking address.
Thank you.
Sir, Yeah, sir has touched upon several important topics like decision making, strategic planning, team member selection, integrity, humility, communication, positive attitude, and so on. He has inspired us to inculcate these habits to become a good leader. So if there are any questions related to the topic, I request the participants to please go ahead and ask them. Are there any questions from the participants side? So again, once again, sir, thank you once again on behalf of the organizing committee and participants. Thank you for sparing your valuable time with us.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your support. And again, thank you for giving me this opportunity. If they have any queries, you can share with me. I will address all their queries.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Happy Makar Sankranti.
Same to you, sir. So we will be posting the attendance link in a couple of minutes. Our next session will be conducted at 2 o'clock. Yeah, so the attendance link has been shared. Kindly fill your attendance here.
Ma'am, with your permission, can I leave?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.